Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Tuesday night. I hope you are having a great day. I was so happy that it didn't rain today, though we need it quite badly. I was just really glad that it didn't rain and I was able to get a walk in this morning. Yay! I thought maybe I was going to be doomed to stay inside all day, but it worked in my favor. So I was really happy about that. Otherwise, I came down here, I guess it was in the afternoon, and puttered around here, worked on finishing a card and finishing my shoebox retreat or shoebox exchange that we're doing next Saturday. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. You're the first one on. Yay. How are things down in Florida? I bet you the weather's nice. We had kind of a overcast day today, but the temperature was perfect. It was in the 60s, and it was just wonderful. I was walking with a sweater on, and it just felt really good. So I like this kind of weather. Got a little breezy this afternoon, but otherwise it was a good day. Got out and watered my plants first thing this morning, and I think I fed the birds this morning, or was that yesterday? I can't remember now. I know I gave them water. That's what I did today. And checked on the plants and made sure that there wasn't a lot of critters digging them up. Hot and dry. Ugh. Yeah, no, I don't like hot and dry. We're going to get hot next week in the 80s, which I guess it's that time of the year. Hello, Rhonda. Welcome. Nice to see you joining us. So, just thought I would hang out here just for a little bit until more people get on, maybe. I think I'm going to save my announcements for the end. So, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button or subscribe so that you catch my videos when I put them on. I normally put them on YouTube right after I do the live. So if any of you are looking for a card that I've made in the past that does not seem to be on Facebook anymore because they delete the videos after, I want to say a month, or is it 2 weeks? I can't remember what it is. So I just got in the habit of just putting them over to my account on YouTube. So if you ever need a pattern, you can always look there for the video. And I try to put in the title what I used for the card kit and paper and stuff like that. Oh, you need rain too, huh? Thanks for sharing, Rhonda. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you get the humidity down there. We get humid up here too, but yeah, I know you really get it down there. I have actually never been down to Florida in the summertime. My husband has once. He had to go down there for a seminar, and it was like, I can't remember if it was the end of July and the beginning of August, and I'm like, oh my gosh. He says, yeah, you didn't stay outside too long. So, anyway. Well, we are going to be using the Gallery Blooms set tonight with the paper that goes with it for our 2 cards that we're going to make. I had one card made and another one partially made last weekend, but I was so bushed when I got home from our class that I did up in Waukau that it's an hour and a half away, and 3 hours in the car, and I guess I was beat because I put my pajamas on as soon as I got done eating supper, and I fell asleep on the couch before 7:30. So, and I slept until I got up the next morning, which was 3 minutes shy of 11 hours of sleep. So I guess I was tired. But anyway, so I think I'm just going to flip the camera down and we can get started. And like I say, I'll do the announcements at the end and see how that goes. So let's see. Well, it's telling me I got a slow connection. It always has to do that at least once. Light moved. Oops, sorry about that. I think that should be okay. Get this lined up. These are the two cards that we made a week ago, since I didn't do a live on Saturday night. And they're both like a graduation card or something, some congratulatory card. And the sentiment is on the inside. The back is blank, so you can actually write on the back if you wanted to. And the both are the same, just a different color. And if you remember, we had a problem with figuring out what color to put in here because I didn't like the orange going across this. Berry Burst, I think, is what's in here. And so after I got off, I think the next day I changed it to put the green in, and then I took the Berry Burst that I had back here as the matte off and added the Old Olive. I think that looks a little more pleasing to the eye. So anyway, let me get my reading glasses on so that I can see what I'm doing when I get into making cards here. All right. Well, we had a small group the other night that was watching, so there's a good chance you could win. Whoop. Had an escapee there. Okay. It's Carol Fremstad. And if Carol pops on before we get off, we will ask her what card she would like to have. So, as I was saying, I got I had some order that I placed that came in last week, I guess it was, maybe Monday. And I thought I had ordered the Damask Designs embossing folder, and I guess I had because it came today. So I must have got in right at the tail end. They had it posted as an item that was getting low, and I must have posted it, my order, and it went on back order, but they still came through with it on a separate order. Came today in a little envelope. I'm anxious to try this. It's a really nice embossing folder. It's not 3D, so it gives a real subtle texture onto whatever you've stamped it. So I'll give that a try for our next cards that we do. And I may be using the same set for Saturday night. I might only do one card because I'm going to that shoebox exchange. I can't get it back in the envelope, for crying out loud. I'm going to the shoebox exchange on Saturday, and I will have, I think, 12 cards that I can show you on Saturday night. I always fold the sticky part over so that I can have access to my embossing folders without taking them out. They just slide in and out. They go inside the paper folder, and that's the way I store them in a box so they're ready to grab a hold of. Okay, so this is the set we're going to use, and this is the paper. So beautiful. I love it. Both sides is very lovely. The first one we're going to make, let me see, I have to decide which one I want to make first. I think we're going to go with our blue one. I'm going to start out, get all the parts and pieces out here. I went ahead and did all the cutting so that we wouldn't be on so long. And I will tell you what the sizes are. This is going to be a sympathy card. And we are using this small image and some of the standalone dies. I cut out some greenery, or I used this one here and this one here. And I like how they come out. They've got the little cutouts so that it looks a little realistic. It's not just a solid. Let's see. Oh, I better put them back on the board or I'll be looking for them. All right, get this out of the way. And then I used, why is it I can never remember that set? It's sitting here. Textured Notes. I love these. These are the best. Okay, and I already pre-cut 2 in case I mess up. And we are using Secret C. Maybe I should start out by scoring this. This is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score it 4 1/4. There. And then I have a piece of Secret C that is, I think it's 4 and oh no, it's not. It's 4 by 5 1/4. So 1/4 of an inch smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that on right away. I like having less pieces roaming around my table to get lost. Get that out of here. Alright. There we go. And this is the, oops, upside down, DSP I'm using. It has a design in it that has the tiniest butterfly, and I think I tried to show you this one other time. Let me see if I can get it close enough that you can actually see it. Kind of, oh yeah, you can see that. The first time I cut the piece, of course, I cut it the wrong direction. I had to cut another one. So this one is actually 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I can just go ahead and mount this on there as well. I like these colors together. I think this is Lost Lagoon maybe in here. Where's the paper? I can look on the back and see what it says for, oh, there's a bunch of them. Basic Beige, Basic Black, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Cloud Cover, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie, Pecan Pie, Secret Sea, and Smoky Slate. It's kind of, I like this paper. It's kind of moody almost. Okay, these two are going to be on the inside. Yes. So I'm just going to put those in here for the time being. And we are going to concentrate on our stamping. Yeah, come here. We're going to stamp in Secret Sea. First, I'll stamp our flower image. And this is so striking when you use this for a bigger print. Let's see how good I did. Oh, pretty good, I'd say. And okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp This is going to be mounted up here. We're going to stamp our image of Forever Loved, Forever Remembered right here, again in the Secret Sea. Just lightly tapping it because I don't want it to get kind of mushy or thick when I go to stamp it. Okay. All right. We'll let that dry. I don't know why I have a hard time getting the ink out of them sometimes. Using the chamois. Okay. I'll put this aside for just a little bit. And this one I can use for another time. Okay. We are going to color the flower using the cloud cover. And then, let me think. We're going to use the dark Lost Lagoon and the light Pretty Peacock on the leaves. So, move this out of the way. I'm just going to kind of brush this all over, and then we'll go back with the dark one to add some shadowing and I don't know if you'd call it texture or what. This is such a pretty color. The palest of blues. Just right next to the center there. And then hitting those lines that the artist has put on there. I'm going to go right back to the light right away so that it hasn't had time to dry very well. And try to blend this in a little bit. See how that looks once it's dried. Back one I'm just going to color in full. Okay. And this little spot in here between the two flowers, you know, there's a petal in there. We're going to make that dark as well. Okay. The center of the flower, I thought we would use the dark Darling Duckling. Oh, wait. Sorry. I take that back. Light Darling Duckling. Oh, Ryan. I like the contrast there. All right, the leaves. This is the Dark Lost Lagoon I'm putting this on the higher sides of the leaves. And we're going to use the light Pretty Peacock for the lower. And I'm not bringing it all the way together. Oh, I missed those two up above. Wow. Okay. Because I'm going to try to come back and blend them together. Okay. Kind of going over that center line just a little bit. And there we go. Now we can start assembling the front of our card. And I am just going to line these up because I think I have to put this a little bit lower. I don't think I'm in screen. Sorry about that. Yes, it has to come down just a smidge. Okay, so it's about like 2/3. We will put that on. And I don't think, nope, I did not pop that up. See, I got ink on my finger when I open the ink up. Okay, this is going to go up here, and we are going to pop this one up. I'm going to put a dimensional behind each flower and small ones down below here. So, my dimensionals out. So, I always have such a hard time getting a hold of these little ones. I want to leave room on the side to be able to tuck the greens in. That is why I'm not going crazy putting so many dimensionals on. Like so. And we're going to put just a little bit of glue on here. Just going to hold on to the tip. Put like a little drop on the leaves. This isn't too bad to put on. Maybe just a tad under there. And I want to kind of line it up with the top white, like so. Now I'll do the other side. Hi, Shar. Thanks for sharing. Oh, get you in there. Like so. And I just love the look of those blues together. These guys are actually going to go down here on the bottom. So I'll stick just a little bit of glue on this. Trying to eyeball where the center is. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is a fairly easy card. Put this together like so. Okay, let's get some bling out. Let's see, I'll use that one, I'll use this one. Come on. Where did my take your pick tool go? Alright, so we are going to just take this big one and put it right down here between those two, and we'll put one up here and one over here. So these are the In Color flat pearls, and we're using the cloud cover color. I didn't think these would show up as nicely as those do, so that's why I opted for the lighter color on this. Okay, we got the front done. Now we got to do the inside. I got to take a peek at my sample. Yep. Okay. So now we are going to go back and do a little bit stamping again. Trying to see. Are you able to see what I'm doing okay? Or do I need to bring you down closer to the table? Just let me know. I'd be happy to move you. We are going to put one of these smaller flowers over here to the side. Again, we're using Secret Seed. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I love the colors for this very much. You know, when I first saw the paper, I thought, I don't know. It was a little dark for me. But then once I really studied it, you can see okay? Oh, great. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. I haven't seen you in a while. And there's that. And we're going to go back and grab our cloud cover again. I'm going to go with the light up in here, like the inside of the, these look like little roses, and the outside we'll do in the darker. Yeah, maybe I'll add a little light at the top there. I gotta stop and really look at this to see how it's stamped, to make sure I'm coloring flowers and not nothing. There we go. Alright, now let's add this back in. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference, but there we go. Yeah, I thought this was kind of pretty. And grab our two colors here, Lost Lagoon. Wrong end. Well, Jean. I missed a spot. There. And then we've got our little mat here. This piece is 3 inches by 4 1/4. This is 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. I had to stop and think there for just a minute. Sometimes those eighths I get hung up on when I stop to think at what the size is. I don't have any problems cutting them, but once in a while. And I just think this is a really sweet card for sympathy. And I have somebody that their memorial service is coming up the beginning of July for her husband from our church. They were charter members of our church, and I think I'm going to use my sample that I made as my card to give to the family. Let's see. We got to put a little bit of sparkle on the flowers, don't you think? Good old Winkostella. So I remember a year and a half ago, Winkostella went on back order, and you couldn't order it for a while. Holy cow, when they came back in, man, I think I ordered 4 tubes of it. I thought, I don't want that to happen again, because I had people asking for it. There. I think that's a real pretty card. Okay, card number 2. And here's my sample. It's exactly the same. Not different. Card number 2. We're going to be using Basic Beige. Same card set, for the main thing. I grabbed the So Thankful for You is going to be our sentiments. Let me get everything out here. We're going to be using Calypso Coral on this one. So this one's going to be a little more jazzed up. And this one we're going to have to do a little bit of die cutting on. Let me get this out of the way. We don't need this anymore. We're going to do the big flower on this one. This has got a lot of parts and pieces here. Come here. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. So we're starting out with an 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score it at 4 1/4. This card is going to be done portraits. And then, let's see. I can't do anything until I cut this. Okay, so we have this die that comes with the set. It's an awesome set. And when I first started playing around with it, I thought, oh, I want to do a double frame. So, and then I wanted to use this as the inner frame. This is a really pretty pattern in the beiges and the Calypso Coral, and I thought, oh, I like that. That would look pretty as a matte in the frame. This was my first attempt, and I didn't like it because the frame is so large on this that it doesn't leave you much. I had wanted to matte this underneath, and it was just going to be too much. So I decided that I guess if I'm going to use this frame, I'm going to use it just the small one here. So that's what we are going to do. And I cut this piece so it's just barely a little bit over the size of the where it's going to be cut. So I'm actually going to take a couple pieces of Post-it tape and make sure that I've got this on here. So it doesn't shift. Sorry. this over. Oh, I got so much stuff here. A few things out of the way. I think I got it through all the way. Yes, I did. I like these little squares you end up with. All right. Ooh, that's a thin piece all the way around. I guess I got that cut just right. I should have told you what size that was. Well, we can measure this outline here. So much for the tape. Okay, this was 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. Just makes this perfect. Where's my take your pick tool? I do intend on using the larger frame for something else. Oh, come on. Just wants to stick in there. There. I think that makes a lovely frame. Okay. Now I have a piece of basic beige that should be the same size. Yep. And I'm thinking here. So that was again, oh, it's actually 2 5/8. Sorry, by 4. Oops, get it on your right. About 4 1/2. Let me see, is that gonna work? We're gonna cut another one of these frames because I want to pop this up, and I think it's going to want to warp. This is going to be on the card, and I want to pop this up so it stands up just a little bit, and I think it's going to warp because of it being DSP. So let's just go ahead and cut another frame. I think I've got enough here that I... Oh boy, look at that. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut this off. Alrighty. And we're just going to glue this to the back of the DSP for extra stability. And that's all. I think I'm going to have to tape this one too. Doesn't have to be exact, but just hold that into place there. There, now it won't slide around. Sorry, I'm not going to bring that beast back over onto the table. Ooh, I put it in square. I shouldn't have done that. What a racket it makes. There. There. Okay. Now let's continue with what we were doing. And I can just go ahead and glue that right on there, and it doesn't matter that it's white. It's going to definitely help when you want to put dimensionals on the back side. There. Okay, next step. I took the Elements of Text, the rectangular one, and I'm just going to lay this on here to get a feel for where we need to go. And I'm going to take basic beige ink, so it's going to be the same color ink on this cardstock. And okay, I'm just gonna like so, and then nope, I want to use that. I'll grab this because I'm going to stamp off. I'll use just the bottom portion. I'm going to try to line this up. Sorry if my head's in the way. There. That should take care of it. Now we're going to stamp our flower. That will be tricky. I always freak out when I have to try to line up a stem. I don't know how you guys are. Maybe that doesn't bother you so much. Oh, I gotta still use this. That's right. And actually, what I'm going to do, when you run this through the cut and emboss, it leaves a ridge right in the center. I'm going to take my this and just kind of fold that down because I'm afraid that it's not going to want to lay nice when I put the stamp on there. It might want to go to one side or the other. Alright, where's the big stamp? We're going to stamp this in Early Espresso. And I'm going to apply the ink directly to the stamp this way. I find it's much less apt to be a mess. Oh, I did get the bottom though. You know what, I've got a little rag here. Yeah, maybe I will bring this back. Okay, wish me luck. Come on, I want you to lay straight. I want you to lay flat. Lay flat. There. Okay. And this is a really super die, I think. Because it cuts out between the flowers and the stem. I'll show you here as soon as I get this off. Yeah. See, it cuts out here and here and here. I like that. And down here. All right. Kind of light, but I think it'll be okay. What do you think? My piece of paper. I'm going to try one more just on the paper. If that looks better, I'm going to die cut that one out. This is such a hard one to ink up without getting the block. It's about the same. cast I made of that stamp. Let's see, I've got the die right here. Let me just run this through quick. And then we'll color it and put it together. This just is a much closer die, which makes me so happy. Oops, what did I do with my plates? Over there. Sorry, I have to realign it. Okay. Okay. How do those compare? Oh, goodness. The cushion on my chair is all discombobulated. I think I like this one better. It's a little light in here, and I think this will be better. Okay. We are using Calypso Coral. We'll use the Darling Duckling again. And we're going to use Mossy Meadow, light and dark. Yep, that's it. This looks so nice with the early espresso, the green. Very nice. And I like the Calypso Coral with it as well. It just looks kind of nice. Gives it a rich look. Let's see, down here. And I did both of these on each side. It look like they should be a leaf. Okay. Yeah, Rhonda, I like this stamp set too. It was not on my radar to begin with, but then I saw some awfully pretty cards made with it, and I said, okay, I guess I'm getting this one too. I don't know if you can see how that blends together just by leaving that little stripe and then just going back and pulling some of that darker color back up. I like that look. Okay, let's get our Darling Duckling in the center here. It's a good one for centers of flowers. And this is just the light one that I'm using. Yeah, the light one. Okay. Now the fun begins. Now we'll use this end. Kind of scribbling it on because we're going to go back over it again. All is strong in this. Okay. Whew. Let's get this end ready to go. All right. Let's get some shading in here. I'm just going to switch over right away before it gets dry. Because this one, you know, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but some of the blends between the light and the dark don't have a lot of contrast. Like that Secret Sea, I don't feel has a lot of contrast between the light and the dark. It's just a little bit. This one does. And I think it's not going to look as nice if you let it dry before you start to blend it in. Just a little note or suggestion. I like the way this one just shades so nicely. This one's a pretty easy one to use, this image, this dye. Just kind of putting some little dots in there. There we go. Isn't that kind of pretty? Let's see. Put this back. I'm done with the early espressos. I'll put that back. Okay. Now let's do a little assembly. So we've got our card here, base. And now this, I could actually go ahead, because it's the same size, I can put the dimensionals around it. Get them on so they're not hanging over the edge. Putting a few more on than what I normally would do, just because I want it to stay straight and not buckle. I hate it when that happens. Well, this time I think I'll use my Take Your Pick tool. Okay. I just want to get this lined up just right. Like so. And then I have a mat that's going to go around this, and this piece is 3 by 4 3/4. And we're just going to glue that directly on there. Glue, glue. I like it because it sets off the Calypso coral that's in that kind of muted print. Alright, and this is going to actually go in like so. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this and here. So I think that's right. Want this to go. Come on. Okay, I had you in there. I think I'm going to. How much will it give me? Doesn't give me enough. I shouldn't have put one right in the middle. Maybe we'll just bring it over to the side a little bit. Yeah, like so. Okay. Before I put that on here, I'm going to take a blending brush and the basic beige. And we're just going to kind of dirty up the edges, so to speak. Just to give it that kind of old look. Yeah, maybe I better get that piece of paper back. Give it that vintage look, as you say. Never been one to do vintage, but this set just really lends itself well to it. Has that kind of old-fashioned look to it. I'm just going directly on there. I don't care how it, if it's darker or lighter. This color is so close that I don't think it really matters. Okay, so now that will go in there. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on, then we're going to put the flowers on. Okay. Put him over. Yeah, maybe I'll just do it above. Alright, then that means I need to put a little one in here. That will help. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue across the top here. And on the end, and right here. I think that's all I need. That's right. Stick your finger in it, Jean. Good job. There. All right. That should have had a little more glue on it. Don't think I had any on there. There. Okay. I thought it would look really pretty. Now this is no longer available, but I've got just a tiny bit left. I went to order it, and it was on the last chance, and Guess what? It's not there anymore. Where's the end? Here's the end. I thought we should tie a little ribbon around, come on, stay down there, around the stem. That's a very generous piece. Shouldn't have any trouble tying a bow on that. Sometimes this fine stuff is harder to work with than the ribbon. Come on. Grab it. Alright, come on. There we go. And we need to put our sentiment on the front. There, I like that. There. And we are going to use this really thin piece of white cardstock. And we are going to use the Calypso Coral. Don't need that anymore. For the sentiment. It's not straight. It is not. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to be able to turn it. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Oh. Well, and then I had ink on my finger. Good grief. Guess what? I'm going to be putting some bling there, I think. Okay. Get back to focusing here. So Thankful. I'm going to put that right on here. Just a little bit in from the right side. Like so. And I'm going to do this on an angle. And this like so. Okay. Then I have, this was 1/4 of an inch. And it ended up being, I think it was about 1 3/4 inches long. And then I just trim that off. This is, let's see, 1, 2, 3/8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on here. And then we're going to trim it. I thought it would look a little better with just having a little bit of orange behind it. Okay, and now I'm going to trim this like so, and then this like so. All right, there's our front greeting, and we are going to put that up here, and that can just go directly on. I like how that little script back there pokes through ever so nicely. All right, the inside is my 3 by 4 1/4, 3, 4 1/4, and then this one, this piece is 1/8 of an inch larger, so 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. Voila. And this is going to be for you. Right? So Thankful. two together. I like using these little 1/8 inch larger mats just for that little peak of color. And that is going to go in here. Let me just, I thought we would put some of these gold low profile dots on here. And let's see where we're going to sneak them in. Because I was able to do them a little differently on the other one. We'll put the big one here and two small ones here. Oh, am I going to be able to get that in there? There. Okay. Now, let's go over here. I am, after I get off, do not like this because I got that smudge on there. So I'm not going to glue this in. I'm going to take a new cardstock and I'm going to take this off and put it on. So you have a nice clean one. Here is the one that I did. And see, I was able to get this down behind there a little bit more, I guess, so that there was a little more room up in this corner. But I still think that looks fine with that just peeking out. And we will put, yes, we always have to put a little of this on. And I think this will just really brighten up this flower too. Just on the petals. I don't do the center usually. Ooh, a little difficult there with that on there. Okay. Yeah, Lori, I agree with you. I keep thinking that today was Monday as well. I was all goofed up today. I met my friend for tea at McFarland House Cafe, and I kept thinking that it was Monday, and no, it was Tuesday. So my work week is really weird. So let's see. Did Carol come on? Carol, yes, you are on. Good. Here's our two cards that we made. You won the drawing, Carol. You can choose from the orange. That was peach pie, or the one that's got the berry burst. And then, would you like a sneak peek of what I'm taking for the shoebox? I can show you if you'd like. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, let me know which one you want, Carol, and I will mail it to you. Get an envelope out right now. So I'm all set to go. Boy, the feed is slow. They both are like for graduation or congratulation. They have the same sentiment on the inside. The future is bright. just let me know. The card that I'm going to take for the shoebox exchange is this one. This is the DSP that is from the Celebratory Sips collection. And then I did that like shirt collar or whatever you want to call it. So you can see the back side of the DSP. And then I used the flowers from, what is that set called? Pretty Florals. And that's what these are from too, the Pretty Florals. And the sentiment is, again, my favorite, the right words. So this would be another get well, hope you feel better. It could even be for somebody that's, grieving. So that's the one I'm taking. And I can't wait to go. We're going to have a great time. I can't wait to see how many cards I come back home with. That'll be fun. So anyway, well, Carol, let me know which card you want of these two here that we made on Tuesday, and I will mail it to you. That is really about all that I have. If you're still interested in signing up for the Celebratory Sips workshop, class to go, I still have some availability, some openings for that. And the cost would be $30, and that includes shipping. And you would be, I'll be sending that out soon. I can show you this is what no, that's not the cards. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Yeah, maybe I don't have that sitting out here. I guess I don't. I have to print off another one of those. I thought I could show you what the cards were. I guess I can't. So anyway, have a good evening. I will see you Saturday night at 6:30. And we will have a drawing for these two cards up here. And I will have lots of cards to show you when I get back. And so enjoy the rest of your week, the short week. Yay, love it. And I'll see you on Saturday night. Good night. And thanks for joining.